Hey guys, haven't streamed in a couple of days. I've been playing but not streaming. I've been mostly redesigning my castle, uh, and I tried with mobs, but the problem with mobs is that they leave health orbs behind. And once you know where the mobs are, it's really hard to make them do damage instead of giving HP. So at the moment it feels like everyone who attacks my castle uh, will only gain health from mobs. So I almost removed them completely from my castle. Uh, Basically what I have left is traps and a boss room. I used different kind of traps first, but then I noticed that that the first setup I had was best, so I just replicated it in a couple of different forms. So let's see. Someone attacking. Let's see what Traquil. I think this is the first time he attacks this castle. It hasn't done too well, but the point is that I want to make like high damage castle that would be unavoidable but still come in bursts, not like spike trap tunnels this time. So it has done okay, but nothing special. Like looks like quite a bit 50-50. But most of these guys are attacking the castle for the first time, and even though every one of them uses 4 potions, except the ones that die might use less. But everybody who wins, this is probably where the new castle starts. 17 hours, 19 hours, 23 hours. I did yesterday, so it's less than 24 for sure. But anyway, I've been losing even though they have to use 4 potions. I haven't watched these replays yet, and I will most likely again end up doing changes to my castle, because what I would like to do is a castle that has so much unavoidable damage that no one could pass it. Of course, that would end up either everybody copying my castle and then Ubisoft nerfing the hell out of it. But let's see. Truckwill thinks it's a little bit cheap, but that it is. But at the moment, I just feel that monsters are not good enough against high damage mages. It's monsters are okay versus archers and versus knights, but with DPS mages, they just suck. Like a lot of these mages, also barricades seem to suck against DPS mages. It almost looks like they can clear barricades with one spell. I'm not sure if we see it in this one, but I have seen. I think Soshi Mushashi clears the castle. Yeah, they can like do this and destroy everything that's in the AoE. So this first room seems to work well almost against. I almost always get a potion, or at least over half of the health pool, which is a couple of thousand damage, which is okay for not so big of an investment. It's well, I'm not sure how much. It's actually quite a bit with this this same setup at the start, because that one itself is 6, 8, 12, 18 points. But I haven't been three starred since my last validation. But yeah, mages can destroy the barricades in AoE with one hit. That's sort of ridiculous. Like, I feel that the AoE damage is too high if you can destroy all the existing barricades with one hit.
I must retreat. Unacceptable.
You see? That sort of like defeats the purpose. And it's not even like it's a crit, it's practically every time. This is my anti-kiting area. So if people want to pull the boss room, it will really cost them. Also, this part
My poor battered frame.
it's not fun to pull the whole boss room through that, and then you have to go back again. Especially as usually at this point you are quite low on potions. Only good thing is that the barricades are hard to target when you are with the meteor. They sort of fireball or whatever it is. What do they call it? Fireball. And in the description it's meteor. So I was right.
Get me out of here. Ooh, what did they put in this stuff?
But almost everyone seems to be trying to pull the boss room out instead of charging in. Which might be wise, as there is... Actually, he was really close to dying. But yeah, that insta-destroy barricade skill is just a little bit stupid. Of course, my castle is also a little bit cheap in the way that it's based on the same idea. Basically every room except the anti-kiting room. But yeah, actually it didn't go as bad as I thought it would go. Like, he could have died there.
Step aside, door.
However, looks like they have fixed... they haven't mentioned, but based on that replay, I'm gonna watch another one as well, just to confirm what I saw from that. But looks like they have fixed the ballistas aiming. Now they actually have to turn before they shoot. For a while they shot instantly, no matter what position they were at. So my ballistas are not in the optimum angle. I haven't turned them to the correct angle. But let's watch the most recent, where I actually lost quite a bit of crowns. Pay attention if the ballistas shoot right away, or if they turn first. At least that ballista started turning without shooting. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to optimize. Basically, these ones you want to have shooting as early as possible, I'd say. So face to the direction you assume they are coming from. For the ones in the room, it's more important to get them to shoot once they are at the barricade, if they ever reach there. I don't understand why that goes through walls. Like, how can you shoot that thing through walls? He hasn't even entered the room yet, and he's taking half health pool damage. So even if it's not the room that does the damage, it's still not that bad. So yeah, basically you want to check which way those are, so that they will shoot at the same time. You want like 5 balls at the same time coming to the same spots. Or alternatively, every one of them shooting at different time. So that you will have to go forward all the time. I personally prefer 5 at the same time. So basically, if you, well, all the mages are of course trying to kite the whole thing back. Not sorry, that's misterm. I mean, all the mages are trying to destroy the barricades before entering the hallway, which I do with the archer as well. Not all the barricades, but I destroy the first one and then charge in. So basically those are in the wrong position, as they don't turn fast enough. It almost looks like they would turn slower. What's the HP pool? Yes, 2,800. It's not too high. I'm actually a little bit disappointed that he passes this. That's so stupid. Like, why? I don't understand, like, well, we share opinion with Dunder here, that no skills should be go through walls. Like, I wouldn't even mind if there would be a projectile. Like, ballistas can shoot through the wall, so the mechanic is there for the game. I think it's more like a bug in that specific spell that goes through the wall. Same goes with archers, not exactly the same, but also archers' volleys somewhat go through the wall as well. Like, you can shoot them behind a little bit of angle.
Wounds are severe.
I'm sort of happy with this because it is possible to slide through all of that as a mage, like this. So I might need to change it a little bit. But in general, if you get thrown back, you often take a lot of damage. Or like that, a lot of additional damage that you feel like you shouldn't have taken. Like, that's always what happens when you get hit by a springboard trap.
To consume my healing potion.
But yeah, same tactic here. I might need to add a little bit more damage here if possible. But with this playstyle, no one will 3-star me. Like,
I will just need a moment.
if you kite back anything, you will not 3-star this castle, unless you do it like really well and really fast.
Thank you, kind orb.
But yeah, as you see, monsters, he has more health now than before the boss fight. Monsters are just shit at the moment. Like, both archers and mages, they just have way too much damage. Like, only thing some monsters are good at are for stunning, but that means that there needs to be some other damage coming in. But I feel like traps are just so much better. Just remove healing orbs and I'll start moving, using mobs again. There's no need for healing orbs. Like, attacking is too easy as it is. Just make people have to work for clearing the castle.
This pleases me.
Also, I don't feel like I think the defenders, as the difficulty is it is, I think it's unfair that the defender loses as many crowns as the attacker gains. Anyway, why I want to stream today? I want to. Let me just check that there's no frame drops before I. Basically, I want to use those 5 friend requests I have to go through these people's castles, as I haven't done so in the past couple of days. Finally, we got some more info about defense crafting. I'm not as enthusiastic about it as I hoped I would be. I'll be back in a second. I'll take a beer so I can talk a little bit more freely. No. I'll save it for Ellen. Alright, I'm back. So basically, of course, not all the information is revealed, but it looks like I like the post they make in the news section of the Mighty Quest website. The post is good, and it's exactly what I asked for them to do: reveal their plans and what they're aiming for and what's in the future, even if. So I'm glad. I don't think they actually read my post, but I'm glad that they are giving some information about what they're doing instead of like keeping them secret, like trying to surprise people with big patches. Um, Defense crafting itself, it sounds like it gives some variety to defense, so you can have a couple of smelly archers with bear traps and the rest of them with headshots, for example, which is nice. However, it looks like you need to gather some additional materials for crafting those. And that sounds like a pain in the ass, especially because the inventory space is so limited as it is already now. Like, I only have one character and I'm anyway using like most of my 4 pages. Of course I can tune it down, I can sell my stuff, but I'm trying to save some useless legendaries for crafting. And also keep some competition mana build stuff here in the number 4. I had some items if I would have bought the knight, but it was actually already gone when I was planning to buy it. This one could have been a good armor even at level 30. I don't think the other two would have been. Well, this one is not too bad. Critical chance, damage per second, and critical damage. I'm with White Cleave. And the helm would have just been mana and damage, but probably I would have had better by the time I reached 30. But however, these are actually, I can sell this one because I'm not even going to craft that one. Because the price went straight back to 950 after that time period, and it doesn't give you like option that, oh, I have lost my knight, I really miss it, I want to buy it back. That would still be at 350 for even for 24 hours or something. But going straight back to the 950, that's sort of like worst case scenario. You have only had the 300 price, or 350, 300 for 15 minutes. You reach the level 15 and you have 15 minutes to buy it if you want, before the patch or before he was removed. But we'll have to see how the patch looks like when it actually comes out. But the screenshot looked like it's gonna take at least one full page, and we don't know how many you can have stacked. For example, with potions, you can stack 20. If it's the same with whatever they call them, essences or something, it will fill up all 6 pages. If you want to have like let's say chicken farm, you will need 375 of them to be able to create it. No more, depending how many they probably take on one. But if they take 2, you will have to have 700 of them. And 700 divided by 20, 735. That would take 2 pages, just those essences. I don't think they're called essences, but anyway. And also I was sort of hoping that you could make something unique. You could sort of like theorycraft also when creating monsters. Of course, it would probably, like, people would come and make impossible castles when they come up with something that they can abuse. But that would be sort of cool. People coming up, and they could patch those things out fast. Like as soon as they remove the synergy between something you craft, like if they move it fast, no harm done. Like let people be creative and come up with charging gimbos with heavy hands. So you would have like charge in the sun, and that would give you enough time to finish with a heavy blow or stuff like that. But yeah, let's see what kind of castles the guys have. Hey, I'm streaming.
Hey, friend. How are you?
But let's start from the top. So, Sword of Bear. Level 17. Castle.
School's in session.
Not really sure what's the point of those.
Big guy.
The trap sort of felt meaningless.
Forecast calls for arrow showers.
Looks like the Dr. Skull is on Ray's death, or is there two of them? And then Robo Shield run with Aura, is this? Hard to say because I had him confused by accident, or he was fighting my ghosts, I guess. But I assume it's on defense Aura, so the skeletons will fight for longer. But I assume there must be something else going on here. Yes, I don't think I saw all of it. Here, this one seems like a spring trap. Where does it throw to? It throws to slow traps with like. I'm not sure what's the purpose of these traps either, or I don't see any. Like, it's 5 points that basically slow you and worsen your timer maybe with 5 seconds. However, let's see what kind of combination is here. Yeah, looks. I like the idea of having. Let's see how it works. If it hooks me. No, he already lost the Stunner Cyclops, or the Basher Cyclops. And so it's hard to say how well they were facing you, how well they were like working with each other. I would like to. I like the idea of having like what do you call those elite hunger bots? You have one lonely archer here, or then he's just a little bit stupid. There's nothing going on, nothing new. The idea of the elite hunger bots pulling them to you and then having those two guys bash them down. Where does this go? I want to see this. Also, this one is like, if people come from here, they shoot the mines and try to run away from here. And if I would, in that case, I would remove this one and maybe move these. You can't move them. But I would definitely remove this one. It's not gonna work either way. Just remove the whole this thing, because like it's 3 points, and what does it really do? Like, people, if they're coming or leaving, if they're leaving, they just leave faster because it throws to this way. If they're coming, they are slowed by a couple of seconds. So yeah, those traps are not worth the damage. This one I sort of like because they do a lot of damage. Not to me because I'm level 30, but they do a lot more damage than those three-headed ones. Or yeah, three-headed ones. We actually missed mine somewhere. Let's go see where we missed it. Maybe it's important. No, it's good positioning for it. Because, well, I wouldn't think of going there after going from here. At least I did now. So yeah, I feel like the Elite Hungerbot thing, that's cool. You just need to run it enough times so that it's facing perfectly, so that people will actually get caught by it. This line of traps, okay, I understand the idea that you will be slowed and then you will be hit by this, but it doesn't slow you that much. Like, you might take a couple of ticks more, but it's not gonna kill you, or anywhere near. So it's still sort of like missed 8 points. I have nothing against these because they're only 2 points each. But yeah, a lot of go through your castle and check each trap you have, and even if it's a springboard or a glue mine or uh, whatever it is, think about when people are running, how much damage does it do on average? Like on average run, what's the damage caused by this trap? And if it's zero, get rid of it. Like you don't have to think about the actual damage coming straight away, but the actual it's going to cause. So if you have a springboard trap that throws you back to a group of mobs, that it's probably going to cause more than uh, like it's gonna cause damage. You just need to think about how much it does in average, how often
Nice
they get
door.
hit by those
You
mobs,
shave
how much they
or
take damage from
smashed
them.
open. Thanks for the contribution.
And same, those glue mines, how much more damage they take from those flamethrowers because they are slowed. If they are slowed, they are not like no one has to run into them. There's no reason to run into them. So the answer is most likely zero. So get rid of them because the answer is zero. And also, even if the answer is not zero, if it's a little bit more than zero, still get rid of them if they're not doing enough damage. Because even if you just put a hamster wheel between rooms, uh, on average it's gonna do more damage because even sometimes, even if it's only sometimes, it will hit people. Like even if it's just by their mistakes. But yeah, that's my feedback. Not the strongest of level 17 castles. I think you have so little points at level 17 that you have to be really careful how you use them. You have like you have to actually always think about like how much each trap is gonna cost. Like if I go to my castle, uh, and I start here, and I think like, okay, this will make it harder for people to shoot the barricades down, and a lot of people when they are doing it, they will take 1, 2, 3 ticks of it. So I think it's worth it not only because of damage it does itself, but also because people will try to find some other routes to destroy this barricade or even go through to destroy this barricade, which will make these guys do more damage if the barricades is not destroyed, or if it takes hits from cannons while doing it. It's still because of this guy and because of the silencer as well. So basically, even though they don't do that much direct damage, or the silencer don't do any, it will cause more damage to be taken as this guy goes here, tries to shoot or tries to cast a spell, can't, still has to go through the small spell animation and might get hit by flames or cannons. Same here, I have a glue mine just to make people, if they try to go away, they will often get hit by this one, or they can't move away from the cannon's circles fast enough. So it's only 1 point, and I think it does like many times the damage. Like it only needs to do 1/12 of the damage that Jimbo would do, minus the health or the Jimbo is going to give. And just like go through like that the whole castle. How many ticks of damage this one is going to do? Probably zero. Actually, I could get rid of this. It's not doing enough damage. By the time people are getting hit by this, they are usually like already destroyed enough area to be able to avoid the damage by running around. So it's actually not doing much. Usually the damage it does do is when people go destroy these barricades, and that's why I still have it, because it's going to more often than not get 1 or 2 ticks in with the corrosive mine buff to the damage. But anyway, every point counts, and you should always like try to optimize and think about if some trap is not causing enough damage. You can watch replays and see that 10 replays and that trap hasn't done a single bit of damage. You might want to reconsider it, unless it makes other traps or monsters do more damage. Yeah, that's about it for that castle. And let's move on to next one. Ginogra. I forgot to mention to the previous guy that it was streamed and in this episode. Which number I don't actually know, because I think I might have forgot to upload something last time. Well, anyway, next guy is level 6, so this is very starter castle. I'm not even sure if all of them are aware that I'm gonna attack people who had me as friends, because
Hope you don't mind
a
a little
lot of
friendly
new
visit.
players are just they're just adding people who they see in the chat, especially people with high crowns, because like who wouldn't want to have friends with high crowns? Especially in the start when you don't know that the crowns don't mean shit. Once you learn that, then it's too late, you're already friends with them. Alright, most likely when you're building the castle, you just lay down the creeps. You want to use number 3 or click here in your defense mode to be able to turn the way the creeps are facing. At the moment, these guys are not facing me, so they don't see me. If they would be watching this way, they would already be attacking me. They're a little bit similar as last time. Like the glue mines, of course you don't have access to any other mines than those, so it's a little bit unfair, but the glue mines, they need to have some follow-up damage to make any difference. Also, these guys, they will never catch anyone unless there's a setup for them. So even the charge is better, even though the charge is usually set up.
Ah, that's more like it.
These glue mines are better. Like if you go from the middle, it's more likely that you take less damage than going from the sides, because there's less room to walk. So I don't think they are. I didn't see them go off. I'm not sure if they went off. I don't think they did. I think they might not be activated. So you want to have a trap thing to activate them. This guy should be in the same aggro group, otherwise it's not gonna attack at all.
Got to be quicker next time.
I just went back to get the guy. So you basically, it depends on the angle you're building your castle from. Also, there was nothing to protect here. There was no mines. So if people are gonna run your castle twice, they don't even come here. So it will be wasted points. Same thing, maybe just have them facing other way around. I like the idea of having a lot of these guys, because that means that there will be a lot of skeletons. And those are really good at level 6, or until level 20, those are good characters to have. What do we have then? Don't go there. I want my ghosts to die before I go there, otherwise it will be over too soon. Same thing here, you haven't turned any of your actual mobs. So when you level up, you will most likely be creating a new castle. At least when you do that, do it in the way that... No, don't go there. I don't want you to go there. I want to see if they aggro or not. Every shot brings those ghosts. That's ridiculous. I assume because of the way they're facing, they don't even attack you. and also they weren't part of this guy's aggro group, even though they could have been. How long are these guys going to hang out with me? Alright, so if we go from here, it's very likely that we don't even have to fight anymore. Yeah. So basically most of your points in this castle are gone because people can just fight the one inside and then finish.
Wow.
So just make sure that they're in the same aggro group and that they're facing in the way that all the routes are covered. Well, now I'm gonna remember to put it.
You're next. Looks like the better man won.
Alright, next guy. I hope to get a little bit higher level castles, because even though it might give the new players kickstart, realizing that alpha something that you have to do like basic stuff the way you have to do basic stuff. Still, like they are not very interesting to have in VODs for anyone else than those people.
You're going to be far
So I
poorer
might
in 3
actually
minutes from now.
start putting a limit somewhere on what level castles I run or not. Bling! No. Like, I have got surprisingly a lot of blinks from these guys, but so I can't complain. I'm not getting them every time. But they're not as bad as you would think. Like, for a moment I thought that they need to be full to give that one blink, but I don't think so anymore, as I do get them more often than that. So I got quite a bit of time before even entering the area of the castle. No, don't go there again. Like, these ghosts are killing me. Like, probably now I have to aggro them because of these ghosts. Stupid ghosts. I'm not dropping any frames, so the stream should be okay. So I think it might be on your end or in Twitch's end, but the connection between me and Twitch is okay. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, that's a whole group you don't have to. And that's another group you don't have to aggro at all. So just by adding a snotcher or anything else that make you have to aggro those guys. Because otherwise they would just be completely useless. This group is okay, and first one that has working aggro group as well. For archers, that setup is you have same issue here. You have it basically in every room you have. You're losing huge amount of points not having a snotcher, for example here, so that the snotcher would just have to join the have like aggro the rest of them. Because now I like one trick you can do. Let me just roll around a bit so I don't lose all my life force. One thing you can do, you can move. Actually, it looks like you can't. If you would put this generator here, You could then move them just one step forward, and that would already be okay. Now I'm losing a little bit too much health talking. But basically, you can make their fighting area just a little bit bigger.
I need a vacation.
Oh, lag spike there. I don't really want to use
Come here, tough guy.
other
Ready when you are, big guy.
potion.
Say goodnight, mister. The bigger they are.
The boss room is okay. But I can't say too much about it as
to the loot pile. Time.
as I'm too high level for it. Maybe add some more control there. Headshot either Archer or Zeke's, and then
Sucks to be you, buddy.
Defendatrons, Puppeteers, Silencers, stuff like that. Like more support to this Nottingham. But basically that castle was a huge waste of points, as most of the groups were. And none, you didn't have to aggro them.
You're next.
So well, let's just call that this will be episode 33-ish. And those groups were really big as well. They had Pete Palmer with 16 points in them and stuff. Like, they are huge. Alright, we have 2 more to go. Jade Coast. Sounds cool. Level 16 castle. So let's go have a look. Timer looks to be good. 150. Usually it's slower to kill mobs on these levels, even though the mobs are weaker. Alright, looks like this one is the way to go. I like that room as a starting room. It takes you a while to know which way you're going. Alright, here we have the mines. Nothing much to comment yet. Geez, sensational gloves. Level 16.
The bigger they are.
Alright, and then it's all in the boss room strategy. So it's not a bad strategy at this level. I sort of like it.
The bigger they are.
For knights, it's a nightmare. Like, there is basically nothing you can do.
At work.
And the composition looks good. You have stun, you have damage, you have puppeteers, and you have defendatrons. So it's basically a really good boss room. If possible, maybe add some traps. Add some traps so there is less space to kite. Spike traps on the sides, or spike traps in the front before the fight even starts. Or then ballistas or whatever. But you have, by the looks of it, you have little bit too many Cyclops in charging mode. You don't need that many. Just scrap 3 of them at least and add 16 points of spike traps. They are only 2 points each.
Knock, knock.
But yeah, all in a boss room castle, which is the best strategy, especially at that level and especially against knights. And we have one more to go. Killer 11. That's very unique and creative name. Not an insult, a joke. Alright, so level 28. Timer looks bad, to be honest. 4 minutes for level 28 castle is not too good. I might even test how good it is because I can win 1 crown. But this castle also can kill me.
Let's go
Or can
to
hell
work.
hell about. So we start with the spike tunnel and protected mines. I like protecting mines. That's always a good idea because that will make people take just a little bit additional damage. That's a little bit weird positioning for that corrosive mine, the previous one. Okay, it's before accessing the spike traps, but it's very visible, and also it's not next to high damage traps. Although spike traps do a surprising amount of damage if you have the corrosive mine effect on them. But all of them are sort of easy to avoid being hit by them. And then there we have a surprising fire mine instead. I'd say the biggest problem this far is the visibility of your traps.
Now that's excellent.
Like you can prepare yourself quite a bit for them. Those were good. Those were really good. Like I actually like them a lot because people usually have this angle when they come there. Let me show. So they are not actually visible when you step here. Like, not very much at least. So that's a proper way of doing your traps. Then we have more of this is sort of like unavoidable damage if you want to be fast.
Come here, tough guy.
Yeah, looks like the boss room setup is not bad at all. Like you have both traps and you also have puppeteers with heal. You had some archers with traps.
Say goodnight, mister. I don't go down that easy. Ah, my favorite flavor.
And yeah, basically it's just and some doctor's cost as well. It's very good. They are not in traps; they are on headshots. But anyway, it's a good good boss room. Nothing really wrong with it.
Say goodnight, mister.
Only thing wrong with this castle this far has been a bit too visible traps, like the one-time traps, and then the timer is quite horrible. I took it really slow. And okay, I'm higher level, but you need to work on the timer. 4 minutes is too much for level 28. But I like the boss room a lot. It's a good boss room. Only thing that you might want to consider is that also your creeps take damage, the constant damage from those three-headed flamethrowers. That's something that Rightland doesn't seem to consider when he's making a Yeah, basically, Right Plan, who also does videos, doesn't seem to consider it. He always has those three-headed flamethrowers in his boss rooms, but I think they actually do quite a bit of damage to the minions, and they are not like ballistas that they only shoot when you're close to them. They shoot all the time. So of course, if they are far away from you, they also heal, but they're still taking damage. And if you're close to them, you can just like run around, and they will all eventually die if they are following you.
Sucks to
So,
be you, buddy.
so I prefer myself. I prefer ballistas. They're also harder to anticipate for me. But yeah, just because of the amount of damage they do to creeps. Otherwise, the three-headed ones are better, even comparing the points. But yeah, that's it for. Uh, did you did you see the replay I showed with Raquel earlier, or Soshi Mushashi? They one-shot, AoE one-shot my barricades. Like when they go to my barricade rooms, they do one spell and they're all gone. I don't know if you have that damage on your spells, but I'll show you one replay. Dun, dun, dun. All right, let's watch this one. I'm actually not sure I've watched this, but I do remember that it was Soshi Mushashi
Hello?
who has a high AoE damage, same as oh damn, more good legendaries for knight. But even he is taking damage before entering the room, so it's like.
Who are you again?
So these guys are paying out in that sense.
I must retreat. Ah, a fine
No, no, it didn't work.
In a second.
I wonder if he used some other build this time. Alright, I'll show the truck hill one instead. Let me just move forward.
This, are you?
Actually, I got 2 potions with the first room, so the first room is good. The second room is not as good. I tried something different here, but it's just not paying out. Like, it's too much room, and the springboard is too visible. Yeah, something going on. It doesn't do the damage I thought it would do. Maybe I'm mistaken of person. Mistaken
I knew I should
identity.
have invented a haste spell.
But yeah, no one has been. This room also is not working. I think I need to just. I might keep the same idea still, just having traps like all the way. But change those rooms around a bit to make them a little bit harder.
Oh, my head.
I'm not sure yet how I'm gonna do it. Well, we'll see.
In a second.
It looks like every mage is doing the same thing with kiting here and getting everybody back. Except he didn't have the damage to destroy the barricades. So yeah, it indeed was a mistake from my part.
That stings. Just in time.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna show the Tranquil one instead, unless you saw it. Yeah, that's true. But they are also the guys who attack my castle every day, so so they will mean lost crowns. So I want to make castles that they can't pass. If they can't pass them, then not many people can. But as you can see, this first room of mine is actually doing pretty well. But did you see that one, for example? Like, it's one hit and the barricades are gone. But I still got a potion from him. Let me just jump forward to the next one. I might make it a little bit more hectic to be avoiding damage in my castle. I might use the smaller rooms, but yeah, look at that. It's one hit and everything is destroyed. And he probably waits the cooldown and does the same thing here.
Oh, my poor battered frame!
Like, Jesus, it's a full room of barricades, one skill with this AoE. Like, that's just insane. Like, that shouldn't happen. Like, if it's an AoE skill, it shouldn't have that sort of damage. Like, I don't know. What do you think? Oh yeah, true. But or then he just wanted to practice his meteor. I know he does that. But did you see the final one? That after I paused it, that's just unreal. All right, I always have money for reforge. Oh, sorry, craft. I'm actually going to get the money so I can bring public that trick that everybody's doing. I don't know which one this is. Let's go see. Pretty good timer, to be honest.
What's yours will soon be mine.
Actually, I don't really care if I 3-star or not. It's not gonna give me any more potions, so I'll just do it if I do it, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Oh, come on. What am I doing? Taking a lot of damage, that's what I'm doing.
I need a medic! Ah, goes down nicely.
Silencer, so there's probably not so nice trap there. Bear traps are your best friend against webmasters. They're so good against webmasters. Like, you just don't take damage from webmasters when you have bear traps skilled.
Speed wasn't on my side today.
Not really worth it. I'm getting too much damage here. Like I'm stopping for no reason. Looks like that fight is wished. Alright, I did take damage. I don't know how he avoided the other one of my bear traps.
Now that's excellent in execution.
They're also good against Seeks. Because you can see that Seek is going down and you just lay down the bear traps and you have it covered. They're pretty much my favorite skill. They are lifesaver. They're also good against Cyclops, even though nobody uses Cyclops anymore. But yeah, they're just really good skill.
Hope you enjoy cleaning up the mess.
Like, I would love to use spiral shots, but I don't know which one I would drop, because the headshot is absolutely awesome for picking up like the main supports before the fight starts. It's also awesome from long distance pulling, so you don't take the trap damage. You can do it with volley, but I think the headshot is more reliable. And it also does a lot of single target damage and mini stuns. So it's just a really good skill. However, Spiral Shot is as well. It stuns and it gives you mobility. You might end up dying because you make a mistake with it. But in general, it's just...
To make room for more.
I should probably change Headshot to Spiral Shot. But I'm sort of like, I'm just attached to it. Other 3 skills I don't even consider changing. Sorry, I'm just reading what you're saying, Dender, just now. Like, I don't know. I don't like the fact that mages can slide over bear traps. Like, that's a little bit too much. They would be still their strongest group or characters, even without the fact that they can slide away from your, basically from all of your traps, unless there's silence. Like, there is no trap that stops the mage slide. So just make traps hurt them if they get hit by them. Like, not necessarily hamster wheels. That would be a little bit unfair, but the bear traps... Yeah, bear traps. That should be enough, basically. And maybe spike traps. Alright, but now we got the money. So we can actually craft, and hopefully I'll get awesome item while streaming. So let's use a runaway item. Let's use Knight item. Damn, these are actually really good. Really good gloves for level 16 Runaway. I might actually keep these for the Runaway week. I don't know. I think these are really good. Like, if it would have like a number 1 in front of those physical armor attributes, it would be like pretty good level 30 item even. So yeah, pretty good gloves. So we have Runaway, we have Knight, and then let's just put some. Let's put some Archer item there as well. No, that's a wrong Archer item. Is it level 29? Yeah, that was a mistake. So let's put level 30 so we get level 30 item. And it claims that it's 4 hour when it finishes, but actually at the moment, unless they have fixed that one as well, you exit the game and you restart, and the item has been crafted. Magic. Sorry, while I'm waiting for it to restart, I'm just reading what there's in the chat. Are you talking about Runaway? I don't know anything about Runaway. I have hardly ever even seen Runaway replays because they never attack my castle. I get them sometimes, but it's quite rare. Yeah. Confuse is just so good skill on anyone, especially with like how good would be a mage with chain lightning and confusion? Like that's just sick. Mm, I would actually, no runaways have attacked this castle of mine. I would actually be curious to see level 30 runaway attacking my castle. How it, like, I don't have a clue. She might do really well. Maybe she can bounce from barricade to barricade with that skill of hers. Oh yeah, I finished third yesterday. And I believe I also promoted. I'm not sure about that though. And yeah, then we go back to our castle. Yeah, like but I was, or previous version of this castle was actually uh, destroyed by Knight. I'm pretty sure, and I was pretty amazed that he made it. Although I believe he was pretty far away. But yeah, as you can see, suddenly the 4 hours have passed in a couple of minutes, and you have a shitty shoulder pad to show for it. Yippee. Also, I got Bogart shoulder guard yesterday, but it's just not that good, is it? Like, only thing it actually gives me is mana regeneration and health. And I don't really run out of mana too often. Actually, I might wear this for some of the castles that I have had issues 3-starring lately. Like, for example, Traquil. if I can roll all the time with mana regeneration of this caliber, it might be enough to 3-star it easier. But basically the problem is that it gives you less damage and less magical armor when the traps are becoming a bigger and bigger thing. So it still claims that it's it was 3.5 minutes, but I haven't got anything good from this one. Was found as well somewhere. I haven't ever done anything good with crafting. I have lost millions and millions and millions and never got nothing. I'm gonna end this episode now. I'm gonna have a smoke and I'm gonna start another episode then. For once, it actually didn't drop a single frame and it lasted for 1 hour and 15 minutes without dropping out. Not too bad. Internet is working this time, or my computer has enough power to run this time. Anyway, I'll stop now. I'll have a smoke and I'll start another.